Hey, everybody, it's Sadie. Thank you so much for tuning in for another week of Sadie and Friends. Before we get started, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who has signed on and downloaded, set it to automatic download. I love everyone sending messages, and you can actually send me an email. It's really easy. Just go to sadieandfriends.net, scroll down to the bottom, and send me a message. We are right now taking nominations for that special teacher, and that special teacher that you nominate could win a free hot stone massage from my friends at Christiana Salon Spa, because teachers deserve pampering. And again, if you want to get your special teacher in there, all you got to do, sadieandfriends.net, scroll down to the bottom and fill out the little information. It'll take you like 5 minutes, and I bet it'll mean a lot to that teacher. But before we get started, I want to tell you a little bit about my friends at Garage Door Service and Sales. Such a wonderful show sponsor. I've been talking about them for, get this, almost 20 years. Almost 20 years. I can't believe it. Family owned and operated, locally owned and operated. This is such a great family. They have dignity. They care about their customers, and they do all kinds of jobs, whether you're looking for just something fixed, something simple, something squeaking and it's driving you crazy, or maybe you want to change the look of your home and get a brand new garage door. They also do estate gates. And you know what I'm super jealous of? People who have in their house like those garage doors where they can open and it's like right out to their outside. Maybe it's like a bar situation and they push a button. How cool. They do that as well. So call my friends at Garage Door Service and Sales, or go to their website. Do a little bit of looking yourself. GarageDoorServiceandSales.com. Garage Door Service and Sales, a proud sponsor of the Sadie and Friends podcast.
I'm going to say the thing you're not supposed to say.
Let's talk about marriage.
They have like a 2-second rebound rate and you're back doing the next pain in the ass thing.
Parenting. Oh my gosh.
They have sucked the pretty right out of me. They treat me like it, and I do their laundry. Lucky me.
Sex.
I'm caught between two evils. I generally like to take the one I never tried.
Scary stuff like ghosts. I know it's totally out of left field, but just go with me on this.
Boo, you whore.
Love.
And give you what you need. That's all. I'm talking about taking care of each other the best you can. What's wrong with taking care of a woman? She takes care of you.
Friendships.
Lincoln, our necklace says best friends forever.
You sure you want it to say forever? I don't think you guys will be best friends forever, no offense, but sometimes you grow apart, and maybe she'll find a new best friend. They end up doing everything together.
Hi, everybody, and thank you so much for listening to today's brand new episode of Sadie and Friends, where my special guest today is yet again.
Making a guy feel welcome.
Now, here's the deal. I feel like I have tracked down and interviewed such a good number of people. Now, Misty Gemstone, she should be back tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then Kelly, she's still around. But I'm like, you know, of course I'm going to give you a compliment. You are truly the easiest person for me to talk to.
That's so sweet.
Because I feel like I can let my freak flag fly. And so I just kind of let it out to where everyone else, you know, when Kelly's talking about murder, I kind of try to let her tell the story. And when Stephanie's talking about mental health, she knows I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. So I let her kind of try to lead the conversation. And I've been able to talk to so many great people. Just had the biohazard woman on from the owner of Bio One. She's amazing if you haven't listened to that episode. And then so I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to record with you.
Here's the deal.
Oh, go ahead. Again, you know, the regulars will be back on. It's just, I don't like being alone. And I like having you here.
Here's the deal. I do think it's pretty easy to talk to each other, even after we've been together for like 17 years. And we still really like talking to each other. Do you think that's normal, or are we just different?
We're so special.
No. I mean, like, are we just odd? Not like different, like special.
No, I don't
odd.
think so. I think that we don't always enjoy talking to each other. That's kind of the bottom line. The bottom line is it's great and we enjoy it, but there are times where we do not want to hear each other's voice. Would you agree with me?
Oh yeah, there are times, but I'd say there are times, but I'd say for the overwhelming majority of time, we like conversing with each other. We like laughing at each other, which is really weird because we are polar opposites of people of interest. Like the things that we are interested in could not be more different.
It's true. I'm more of a 90 Day Fiance.
I see in person, he is really big, butt shot.
And he is more of a State of the Union address.
No, not State of the Union. But like I do like a good documentary.
Yeah. I mean, Ryan will watch documentaries all day. I like documentaries too. I watched one recently with an alien that landed in a Brazilian town, and it's called Point of Contact, and you can find it on Amazon Prime.
Wait. Did you just say this is a documentary and it's about an alien landing?
Oh, it sure as hell is.
Alien like illegal immigrant alien or
no.
alien
like
from
an
outer
alien
space?
from outer space. Phone home. And it talks, this person goes and like talks to all the townspeople who saw it.
Meanwhile, I'm starting phase 2, which is me sitting on a stool while 40 gray aliens take turns gently batting my knockers. Did y'all get the knocker stuff?
This is a tiny, tiny little town in Brazil, and they all saw this little UFO guy. One police officer actually ran and it was hurt. So he lifted the alien up. And then 2 days later, the guy died from toxicity. So there was something on the skin of the alien. But I mean, they have...
Or he died from, an amoeba in Brazil that he shouldn't have swallowed.
Ryan, why are you such a hater against the survivors of this Brazilian alien attack?
I don't know.
It is really good. You should definitely watch it. Before we jump in, though, today, I want to remind everybody to go to sadieandfriends.net where you can sign up. You can nominate that special teacher. We're coming to the end of the year. And let me tell you, I'm getting a little nervous doing the whole all day thing. I couldn't imagine having like 25 children. And teachers are magical. I mean, they come up with magical ways to get kids to listen. Did you hear there was a teacher at the school and this teacher goes, in order to get the class together, the teacher goes, Red Robin.
Red Robin. Yum.
Yum.
And that's what all the kids do. And that's how they're like little gophers that pop up. And that's how it's just brilliant stuff like that I would try at home during the summer. And she'd be like, what are you talking about? But teachers are magic. So along with our friends at Christiana Salon Spa, a wonderful sponsor of the podcast, they wanted to do something special for teachers. So we are doing a giveaway. We're doing a giveaway of a hot stone massage because there's a teacher that you are thinking of right now who deserves a hot stone massage. I am tempted to enter my children's teachers, but that would, I feel like, be unfair because
you're going to select the winner.
Yeah, it comes to me, and we've gotten some really good entries, but we're going to be doing this for a couple of weeks. So I'm going to keep reminding people to go on, nominate that teacher for that luxurious treatment. Now we can jump into, okay, do you want to start with topic A or B?
Oh God, it's so hard. Can I give you a topic?
No.
Okay.
A or B?
I'm going to go B because your first instinct with A typically is something off of TMZ.
No. Okay. Topic B is I really want to have a couple show that I watch with you, and I really want it to be White Lotus.
Yeah.
See, we have nothing in common.
I'll give it a watch.
See, but here's the problem with us. The problem is,
here's the thing. I've heard enough about it that everyone talks like it's great. I'd say though, like the Zeitgeist shows have had like a 50-50 for me, maybe 60-40 where they hit, right? But do you remember when, like, this is years ago, like the second or third season of like Stranger Things was out and we're like, let's give it a try.
Yeah.
Every single person in the world is talking about this. Let's give it a try. And we did, but it was like eating our vegetables. It was just like, okay, yeah, this is good, but I don't love it.
Yeah. I really want to, because we watched Severance together. That show I did not really get.
Yep.
nor was I. It ended. I have just read that it's going to be a couple years.
The board has concluded the call.
They're shooting now.
Oh, they're shooting now. I
For
read
season
somewhere
3.
that it was going to be 2 years, and I'm like,
Nope.
I cannot commit to waiting that long for a show that I would give maybe a C. Maybe it's just that I'm not.
You'd give Severance a C?
I would. Maybe it's just, you know why? It's so slow. Like, oh my gosh, this is happening. And then 4 episodes later, it's still not explained. And I get weary because of the show Lost. The show Lost, it was this amazing story. I was sucked in. Oh my God, it's a plane crash and they're all trying to survive and there are secrets. And then it just completely went to shit. I think that the writer and the director and the whole crew, it was like they just ran out of an idea.
Sure.
And they hit the end of the road and they're like, wow, this is such a huge hit for, I think it was ABC. Such a huge hit for them that we need to keep it going. So they just kept, it's a lot like, gosh, what's that dragon show? Game of Thrones. It's all like Game of Thrones.
Yeah, but Game of Thrones is different because the guy hasn't written the last book yet. So they were like, from what I understand, and I could be completely out of it, but they were guessing at how the ending would go.
I know, but I also feel like that's kind of how it is with Severance too. And I'm a little bit worried that I'm going to get to the end of this commitment and be like, son of a beep. Because if you think about it, you only have so many hours in your life. And if you're going to spend it watching a TV show, don't you want it to be something really good? And I've heard really good things about White Lotus, but I also think I would love to have a show with you. We used to do this together, where we would watch a show together, then we talk about the show and we get excited. And the next day it'd be like, can you believe that happened on the show?
All right. I'll give White Lotus a try.
Well, but when you come in with the attitude of, I'll give it a try. I
Sure.
usually only like 50% of then I feel like you're setting it up to fail.
I understand that, but you know what? I want to get the lemons for you.
What my baby wants, my baby gets. You know that.
I'll do it. No problem. And that's a reference that not everyone's going to get, but you know what? I'll get the lemons. No big deal.
That's pretty adorable.
Yeah.
Okay, so on to topic A, since we are now in agreement. Okay, but here's another thing to go back for a minute. Another thing that I think about is the fact that we have such different schedules. Like you are a late night owl and I am like not. By 7:30, I am going to go begin getting ready for bed. And so to stay up after Murphy goes to sleep, I hardly make it by the time.
Oh, you're the first one out.
No, that's not true. I usually will read to her until she goes to sleep.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm like 5 minutes right after her. I feel like we don't have time unless we do it during the day, which is kind of like a sexy adventure.
Yeah, but I also have to work during the day.
Brian, you're again putting up barriers on this idea that I have.
All right. Sorry, guys. Out of office on watching White Lotus with my wife.
You could do it on your lunch hour. I mean, don't you by law have to get a lunch hour?
Yeah, but when you work from home, there really is no lunch hour. It's just work all the time.
I also think it's half empty, half full. When you work at home, you could also just have a whole lunch hour forever.
Back to us being different.
Yeah.
This is where we're different.
Now let's go back to topic A since you picked topic B. Topic A is something that I am telling Ryan for the first time, but I got a call that our niece, our great nephew is being born right now.
What? They're having a baby?
I know they're having a baby.
Today?
3 weeks early.
Like today?
Right now. I got a call like an hour ago.
And you didn't think you'd tell me that?
Well, you picked B. So I went with B, which was, do you want to watch this TV show with me? Now we're going to A, which is we're adding an addition to the family. And I have to say, I am so excited that it is not my baby. And, I bet I thought you were going to say, you thought that I was going to say, I'm so excited for the baby, which I am excited for this baby. But I am so.
You know what I'm excited for?
What?
To learn the baby's name.
I know. My nephew and his wife, they are very like, no one is going to know until the baby's born. So we all just started calling the baby Carl.
Not Carl, but Coral. From like Walking Dead.
Coral.
Is Coral okay?
Oh, Coral.
Carl.
And you know what? They could come out and be like, his name is
Carl.
No, his name is Johnny. And I would be like, no, it's Carl. Hate to tell you.
Carl!
That's going to be this kid's nickname for life off of the show The Walking Dead. But it just makes me so excited because the thing about Holly is she's not a fan of being pregnant. And you know what? I'm not a fan of being pregnant. And apparently that's a hot button.
That's got to be like 15% of people enjoy being pregnant.
What is wrong with you?
Never have been, obviously, but it does seem pretty miserable.
It is like insane. And it's weird. It's like being in the movie Alien, but it's your own body and you feel it moving around. I mean, I remember being pregnant with Murphy. Ryan would be freaked out. If she moved at all, you would like, ugh.
Yeah.
Because it freaks you out so bad. Try having it inside of you.
Yeah. Well, then also like hormones, eating, vomiting, not
eating
feeling
some
well.
more, vomiting some more.
It doesn't seem like, and all the women in my life who I've watched go through a pregnancy, not one has been like, I really enjoyed it. And we've know people that have been like, I loved it so much. And I've never had that experience with anybody that I know.
And I feel like at one time I carried this like incredible guilt that I wasn't one of those moms that's like, I loved being pregnant. I loved the connection. To me, it was like, all right, I just got to get through this. And then I just got to give birth. But I'm saying this because Kylie Kelsey just had her fourth daughter, baby number 4. And I like her. She's really likable.
Yeah, super likable.
But she was talking about advice and how parents other people like to give advice, whether it's asked for or not. And she said one thing that women say is nap while the baby naps. And she says that's complete bullshit. That's not a thing. It's insane to think that would work. And she's right. It's true. If anyone tells you that, first time moms, no, you sleep when you need to sleep. Well, I guess you have to sleep when that baby's awake, but no, when the baby's asleep.
No, when the baby's awake, you got to be awake.
Wait, what? I did it backwards. Just kidding. I just spoke wrong. But she also said, and I quote, I do think that there are a number of women who appreciate me being open, which I am one of those women because I'm like, damn, she's speaking the truth, to have discussions about pregnancy and the experience. And she said, I don't really care to be pregnant. I'm grateful that I get to be pregnant, but I don't enjoy the process. And I feel like there have been a couple times where
that's a good way to put it, by the way.
Right. And
I'm grateful for it.
And that's how it feels. You're grateful that you get to experience this and you're grateful. But then on the flip side, it isn't comfortable. You know, some people are like, I loved it from day one. I cried when I gave birth because I just wasn't ready. Oh my God, I cried because I just wanted to get it out and never do it again. And, but I thought that was really well spoken of her to come out and talk about it. And she's in the issue of People Magazine, which I still read. But she is in this week's issue of People Magazine. And she talks a lot about how being pregnant, it's not for the weak, but you know, she's by saying that it doesn't have to have this negative connotation. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cause it's such a touchy thing because
some people can't get pregnant and then you feel like a major jerk when you're like, I'm given this gift and let me bitch about it for months on end, but you're excited for the baby. At least this was in my case. And I think it was in Kylie Kelsey's case. You're excited for the baby, but you just think if I could just not have to deal with the puking and the heartburn and the uncomfortableness. Because let me tell you, when you're in the final month, there is a person inside of you that has nails and, you know, not teeth, but, you know, it's like, it's so weird to think about, but that's actually happening right now within our family. Baby Carl is coming.
All right, let's get back to that. There's a birth happening in our family and you decided to wait until we're on a podcast to tell me about it.
Well, you were on a call and apparently your job is very important. So important that you can't stop to watch The White Lotus with me. Okay. What was your topic that you wanted to talk about?
Do you think my hair is getting too long?
I'm not just a pretty face, you know.
Oh my God. Is that for real the topic you want to talk about?
Well, just with you. I was going to bring it up later. Like, my hair is just getting a little too long. I feel like hockey player hair right now.
Really? I don't know. I like long hair. I think long hair on guys, and I'm not talking about like man bun long. I'm talking about just, you know, I always tell Ryan, damn, you were given a gift. Like, my dad is as bald as the day is long. If he could have newsman hair like yours, I feel like you should really appreciate it a little bit more. And you're being very unappreciative of God's gift.
I'm sorry.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah. But we're also living in a time where like baldness is going to go away. Isn't that weird?
Well, not for everybody. Some people
like being bald and shave it, and I get it. But like, if you choose not to be bald, like that can happen now with like pills. Isn't that odd?
Yeah, because I remember when people used to go in for the surgery and they would have to do it like hair by hair. And that to me is insane. And it seemed like it was really painful. I'm thinking of one person in particular who I worked with who had hair implants done. And oh, dang, it was hilarious. But now, yeah, I mean, they go through all that pain and then they end up, now they're like, you can do it with this pill or you can do it with this. But do they really work for real, though?
The whole like Hims company.
Is that for real?
I'm think it's literally becoming a thing.
I don't know. I feel like it's hard for me to believe you can grow hair where there was no hair just by taking like a vitamin.
Hims hair loss at home. Yeah. So like, what is it? Also Propecia? Am I saying?
Oh, yeah. I've heard of Propecia before.
Yeah, like that's a thing.
Yeah, but Propecia's been around for years and years. They just seem to have renamed it Hims and done a new marketing plan, and bing, bang, bong, you got something brand new that people are getting excited about that's been around forever.
Yeah.
What do you think would happen if with your hair growth, if you took a Hims,
thick my hair is?
You would wake up as the wolf man?
Oh, I know that not everyone knows me or has seen photos of me, but it's thick. It's very thick. It's wavy. And I like it a little high and tight just because it is so thick and wavy. Like his woman. But you like it when I grow it out, like almost messy grow it out. Like literally like how I really am. Not high and tight, but messy. And it's just in my way now. It's like the place where like I'll be driving with the window down and my hair is like hitting me. Oh, and I always say 1,000 violins. Do you hear that sound? It's a violin playing your sad story, because I know so many dudes, and for a lot of guys, and I don't think it's as much these days. I think these days guys just kind of opt to shave their head and just kind of like be like, I'm bald. But I think at one time it was a really big deal where guys did not want to go bald. And, I think things have changed and times have changed. And I think we're moving in the right direction. But the fact that they take Propecia and they rename it and then you're like, it's a miracle all of a sudden. No, it's not. It does. I mean, there's all things about it. Hims seems like it's like a ridiculous company. Hims, hers, like they have all these different medications for like over the counter stuff now. It's very odd. Okay, so I'm going to end today's episode, even though we've got a little bit more time. But I want to talk about, did you hear that they were able to return the dire wolf back from extinction? I've heard of this being a thing. It is a thing. But then people being like, actually, the way that you used it isn't actually true. Because I've heard that they used it from fossils of dire wolves, right? Yeah. So if you don't know what we're talking about, it's 10,000 years old. And it's like basically the thing in Game of Thrones reference number 2 today. But the big white dog in Game of Thrones, it's damn near the size of a person when it's on all fours, right? And they're bringing it back from extinction after 10,000 years. However, I heard that they kind of Jurassic Parked it and used some DNA from gray wolves, which is actually not a thing. Don't know, not a scientist, disclaimer, but that's what I heard. Well, okay. So here's what happened. They unveiled it. They were working, this conservation
company, this conservation group called Colossal Biosciences.
Great name for a company.
Colossal Bioscience.
Like if 23-year-old Ryan got drunk and named a company, it would be Colossal Bioscience.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. But they used ancient DNA to bring back these puppies to life. And it's this is these amazing. Puppies.
Good one there.
What?
Good one. These puppies. Because they're little puppy wolves.
Did I say these puppies?
To bring these puppies back to life.
Yeah, these puppies. They're baby puppies. I didn't mean it like in that way.
Okay.
Their names are Romulus and Remus. And
again, they're nailing the name.
Oh, and they have a third one. There's a third one. And the
Maximus?
Khaleesi.
Oh,
see, so they're naming these wolves after Game of Thrones because that's where most people have seen them. But they're 3 young dire wolves. They're being raised in an undisclosed nature preserve, which makes me happy because there's crazy people who would probably try to go and take one of these animals. But these are just giant canines. Their team took DNA from a 13,000-year-old tooth and a 72,000-year-old skull and made healthy dire wolf puppies. I think this is amazing that they're able to bring something back from extinction. I mean, they literally brought something back from extinction, these little puppies. I mean, how long before I hope they spread and have lots of babies and bring this animal back. But it was once said, this is what the CEO of, what's the name of that kick-ass? Colossal CEO.
Colossal
he said it was once said that any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. Today, our team gets to unveil some magic they've been working on. I love that. Who wrote that script? And the broader impact on conservation, which I think that's amazing. There are so many animals that are at such risk of going or have already gone extinct. Colossal is leaning into the pop culture significance of its invention. That makes me sad. I don't think it's an invention. It's a dog, including setting up the pups for a photo shoot in the Iron Throne from Game of Thrones, courtesy of Peter Jackson, who wrote Game of Thrones. He was like, you know what? I've got one of these.
Hold on.
What?
Peter Jackson didn't write Game of Thrones.
Wait, who wrote Peter? Wait.
Peter
courtesy
Jackson.
Game of Thrones, the Iron Throne from Game of Thrones, courtesy of Peter Jackson.
Peter
That's
Jackson.
What this article says.
Okay, so isn't Peter Jackson the Lord of the Rings guy?
You know what? That's a good point. Look at who is, because isn't it George something?
George, isn't it like George R. Tolkien?
No. That guy's.
Look at us go here.
We're so prepared.
Is George R.R. Martin? I was George R. I was correct on.
Why?
George
Okay,
R.
literally in this article, it says the pups had a photo shoot on the Iron Throne from the Game of Thrones, courtesy of Peter Jackson. Maybe Peter Jackson just had
the Iron Throne.
Yeah.
But he was the Lord of the Rings director. That's that dude.
Now, the guy who wrote actually the Game of Thrones, the Martin guy, he was weighing in on it too, saying in a statement, many people view dire wolves as mythical creatures that only exist in a fantasy world, but in reality, they have a rich history. And I think that's amazing. And I want them to bring unicorns back. Were unicorns ever a thing that we can bring back? Or was that always just like a magic Rainbow Bright thing?
Hold on.
I don't know if unicorns are real.
Do you think that unicorns are real?
Well, I don't know. I think crazier things have happened. I also belong.
Whoa.
What?
Are unicorns a thing? Yes or no?
I think at one time they might have been, Ryan.
All right.
Well, you laugh all you want. Many people laughed at Albert Einstein as well.
Yeah, same thing. E equals MC squared and unicorns. Exact same thing.
I also believe in Bigfoot and like the Loch Ness Monster. I think that
those things much more tangible and believable than unicorns.
Not really.
The Loch Ness Monster?
Nobody's really seen it. They have one photo of it.
Right. There's kind of photos, maybe. Who knows? They've done sonar, right? But you think that there was a flying horse that would spit rainbows and has a horn?
Well, again, if I'd learned anything from Rainbow Bride as a child, is that yes, asshole, there is such a thing as a unicorn. And it doesn't spit rainbows. It flies, and somehow rainbows just...
You know what? You sound like Winona Judd right now. If you believe it, it could be
real. I love Winona Judd. Don't go after her. Thank you so much for listening to today's incredibly scattered episode of Sadie and Friends. If you missed anything or you want to get some info on anything that we talked... No, let me finish.
Hold on. Here's what I want. If you've made it this far in the episode, I need you to comment on Sadie's social media. Any post, go find it. Are unicorns real? Have unicorns ever been a thing? And I want a yes or no.
Okay.
Just throw it in there. Unicorns aren't real. Unicorns are real. Please, I just want to get a gauge of our audience of how many people think unicorns are real.
And while you're asking for stuff, I'm going to also ask that people vote with their heart and not with their head.
Winona.
Okay. Just go to sadieandfriends.net. That's where you could sign up that amazing teacher for that free hot stone massage from Christiana Salon Spa. And that's also where you can answer the age-old question, are unicorns real? And I think, Ryan, you're going to be incredibly shocked.
I'm going to wake up tomorrow and I'm going to look at your social media posts. And I want to see the comments. I'm not trying to sway anybody. I just want to see the comments.
Well, you're acting kind of high on your horse about the situation.
No,
I'm just saying in all of time.
I'm not judging.
I do think maybe horses with a horn maybe were a thing.
That flew around and had like rainbows on them.
Not every unicorn flies, Ryan. You're adding.
Sure. Do you think that Colossus Bioscience can bring unicorns back?
I think it sounds like they can do damn near anything.
Yeah. But first you'd need to find a fossil. And there are none.
Are you done? Okay, I'm going to cut you off. Thank you again for listening. And yes, go on social media to answer the questions. The question, do you think unicorns were maybe at one time, maybe not now, not in our recent memory, but at one time, is this a feasible thing? And I, in my mind, just to be clear, was not thinking of a flying unicorn. I was thinking of just a horse with a horn on it, which I don't think is that shocking. Thank you for listening, and we'll be back tomorrow for more incredibly deep conversation. All right, you guys, thank you so much for listening. From the bottom of my heart, I'm just so grateful. Every day I hear from so many cool people, and that's sometimes on social media. I get messages. I also get messages. I have gotten a few already on the brand new website, sadieandfriends.net, where you can nominate that special teacher for a hot stone massage with Christiana Salon Spa. But enough about me. Let's talk about one of the best sponsors ever. It's Polar Bear Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Right now, they have got a killer special going on. It's $99 for a spring tune-up, which means right now, we're in a grace period with weather. It's a little warm. It's a little cool. It's kind of right in the middle. Do not wait until you can see those heat lines on the concrete when your AC breaks down, because you didn't get that spring checkup for $99 with Polar Bear Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Also, have you thought of the fact that you might be running your system really hard and it needs to get a tune-up in order to get that cool feeling? You're running it, you're spending money that you shouldn't be spending. You got to make sure that it is looked at and it is running like a top for the season. You don't want to wait till it's 104 degrees and then the kids are crying and the wife is nagging on you, or the husband, he's complaining. Whatever your situation is, you don't want to be caught there. So call my friends at Polar Bear Plumbing, Heating, and Air, or go online and read about this great spring special yourself. PolarBearPHA.com. Polar Bear Plumbing, Heating, and Air, a proud sponsor of the Sadie and Friends podcast.